Vasel.
I'm Melody.
We are two people who really like board games. And so what we're doing is we're going through our top 100. Today we break the top 40. Lots of great games here. I hope you're enjoying these. I hope you find games that you might want to buy someone for Christmas. I hope if your tastes correspond to ours at all. Don't forget, you can always go to www.thedicetower.com and you can see a list of all the games, including links to buy them and more information about them. You can see some reviews that I've done of many of these games. So, yeah, that's there. So check out our website, thedicetower.com. But enough of that. Time to see some games.
Yay! Number 40 is Toss Your Cookies.
Toss Your Cookies is a game about cookies. Ooh, cookies.
Gingerbread.
Let's eat some cookies. Players are trying to get 6 cookies into their hand, plus a glass of milk to make a 7-card hand. They can use wild cards, but they have to be on the lookout for these very much annoying half-eaten cookies. Now, they'll be doing that by rolling dice. Depending on what they roll, it might say toss 3 into the middle of the table. When that happens, everyone has to toss 3 cookies in the middle of the table, and then you grab one. Or you might switch 3 cards with someone else. Or everyone might pass 2 to their right. And it's just silly fun because you're trying to pass these cookies around to one another or, steal them from another person. And, of course, you're always trying to grab that milk because you need it to win the game.
It's tossing the cookies. The scene really matches it. Toss your cookies. And the artwork is cool of how they actually saw the different types of cookies. And who doesn't like cookies? Number 40, Tale of Arabian Nights.
If you love a good story, then this is one for you. Tales of the Arabian Night is basically a choose-your-own-adventure book because players are deciding as they go through this game, as they cross a beautiful map, moving around, they'll run into encounter after encounter, and there's this big chart and a big book, and you say, I'm going to fight this guy, I'm going to marry this guy, I'm going to steal from this guy, I'm going to beat this guy. Whatever you want to do, there's many, many different options, and each option leads to more options and more options, and really, there's not a lot of strategy, there's not a lot of control over your destiny, but the game is absolute fun regardless. This is actually a reprint of the original game. This is a very beautiful one, and a ton of fun. Tales of Arabian Nights.
Number 39 is Basket Boss.
In Basket Boss, you start with a basketball team here, and you're going to be hiring or auctioning to win people from the middle so that you can get better players than the ones. The number of basketballs is how good your player is, and as the seasons progress, you can see in Season 5, this gentleman here is really good. While if you hired this guy who's really good in Season 1, later on, he's no good. There's other special abilities, but basically you're trying to have the best team each season so you can win the gold trophy, silver trophy, or, well, those other trophies that people win when they don't win the gold and silver trophy.
I like this game because you're getting these neat players on your team and you're off of fire and stinky ones. And it's fun to get those cool prizes, get money to buy players, and they really have neat basketball players and teams. Number 39, Beyond the Butter Bash.
Now, Beyond Boulder Dash has been on my list for 6 years, and I've been doing this list 15 years ago, it would have been on the list then. It's one of the first games I played with my wife. Fantastic, fun game. Just picking a word, and everyone writes a definition down. One person reads all the definitions, including the real definition, and you have to guess which one's right. Great fun ensues. Write a movie that no one's ever heard of. Everyone writes a quick summary of the plot. You say what the real plot is. Someone writes it, you write initials. What do those initials stand for? It's very, very funny, very hilarious, and definitely a game that I think, if you can find it, it's not so easy to find everywhere, but thrift stores have them all over the place. This is just the box of cards, which is pretty much all you need from the game. Beyond Boulder Dash, a party game that will last for quite a long time.
Number 38 is Change Horses.
Change Horses is a racing game in which players are trying to have their horse be the last horse. Each player has a horse given to them secretly where they're that color, but no one knows what it is. On a player's turn, they're going to be playing different colored cards, and as the game progresses, the horses will move. If there's an even number of your color on the board, you don't move. For example, orange won't move, purple won't move, but if there's an odd number, for example, there's 3 greens, then the green horse would move 3 spaces. And that's it. It's a very simple game, one that families can play. It does have a bidding system with carrot cards where you can bid to do different things, and even some special ability cards that you can play to change things up. But for the most part, what I showed you is the basic concept of the game.
I like this game because you're trying to keep your horse secret and nobody knows who you are, and trying to make other people pass first so they don't win. And in most games, you're trying to win. You're not trying to lose. And that's just the way this game goes. Number 38, 7 Ages.
7 Ages is a game that's been on my list for all 6 years, even though I probably haven't played it that many times since in those years, because it's such a gigantic, massive undertaking to play the game. It has just such a grand, sweeping feel. It is the civilization game. You can take probably 60 or 70 different civilizations, and you take them from their beginning to their end, which could come rather quickly. Fortunately, in this game, you're running multiple civilizations, and there's a discovery of technologies, the wonders of the world. The components are terrible, little chits that the wargamers love. I'm not a huge fan of those, but I do like how you can have different nations, even some nations that never really became a nation, like the Pirate Nation or the Amazons. But for the most part, it's very historical, very real. It takes 7 ages to play, but it's definitely worth it.
Number 37, This Big.
In this big, you have fish cards and you have tackle cards. On a player's turn, they will play a tackle card in front of them. So let's say they play a yellow tackle in front of them like that. Then each other player must, if they have a yellow fish in their hand, like this gentleman does, play it in front of them. Now you can play anything you want from 1 to 4. If you have trash in your hand, you can play that instead. So let's say here everyone plays one of these cards face down. Then I'm the one, I pick which one without looking, and I pick this one. Woohoo, I got the 3. Or I pick this one. I got junk. And that's basically the way the game is. You're trying to bluff when you have different kind of fish. Once someone has 10 points worth of fish, they win the game.
I like this game because you're giving people other fish, and I really like giving other people trash, but I don't like getting trash. I like giving trash to other players, and sometimes people say, I have the best fish. Sometimes they'll be bluffing, sometimes they won't be. So you have to try to listen to the voices carefully, see if there's any trickness in them. And the best part is the shiny artwork. It's just a really cool game. Number 37, Trivium.
There was once upon a time where there was a few worker placement games. Now there's many. But Tribune, done by the same guy who did Democker, is one I like a lot. Not just because of its theme, and I do like the theme of getting tribunes and taking over different groups in ancient Rome, but just because there's a lot of interaction in the game, a lot of back and forth. You are forcibly taking over groups that other people. You control the plebeians? Well, not any longer, Sonny. And there's back and forth fighting. There's even a bit of assassins. Once you throw in the expansion, it adds even just a little bit more options. And just every turn, you have so many different things that you can do, and all of them are, work out for you. So Tribune is a worker placement game, but while those games sometimes can be thoughtful and repressed, this one is a rollicking good time. Tribune.
Number 36, Ruby Gloom.
In Ruby Gloom, players have 6 cards in front of them. They start one with one face up. And as the game progresses, they'll be drawing cards from the deck, and they'll be switching with cards from their pile, and some cards may turn face up, and so on and so forth. When the game ends, you're basically going to look at these cards and add up however many points you have. You want as few points as possible. If you can get the same number on the top and on the bottom, like these two here are 6, then their total's a 0. So this person would score 9 plus 0 plus 0 plus 12, 21 points. And there's cards that are 10 sometimes and let you switch cards. There are negative cards, and there's a few special cards in the deck. But that's basically the gist. Just rearranging the cards in front of yourself.
I like this game mostly because of its artwork. It looks like it's girly artwork, mostly for girls, and I like how you're trying to get the least amount of points, trying to get a certain amount of pebbles to win the game. It's just a very fun game for me to play.
Number 36, Robo Rally.
Robo Rally, another one that's been on my list for quite a long time, and with many different printings. We have the original printing. Here's the German version. Inside here I have pieces from the Avalon Hill version. And with Robo Rally, you're going to take a board, and you see it has conveyor belts and fire and oil and all that sort of thing on the board. And you're going to be making some kind of race, some path, a small one preferably. And then each player will put down cards that show how the robots are programmed and roll around the board. And they mess with each other. It's very chaotic, yet logical at the same time. Oh, it does my heart good. I very much enjoy Robo Rally. When I have a group of 8 people and, you know, a couple of hours to spare, we can make a small little track and you will see lots of fun, lots of yelling, lots of screaming, and every play is different, something I very much like. So, Robo Rally. Whew, well, we're 2/3 done now, basically. We're getting to the top 35 starting in our next video. That's really exciting. So we have some really great games coming up. We hope you enjoy them. We're glad you're watching it. And this is in the middle of everything going on with our son Jack, so we appreciate all those who pray for him. But thank you for everybody. We really like you watching it. And if you want to click on these advertisers every once in a while, you know, Melody does need to go out to eat at McDonald's every once in a while.
Tune into our next show for more Top 10 gaming goodness, or check out our website at www.thedicetower.com for more reviews and Top 10 lists. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.